Firstly, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker. We have the Managing Director of MCDREAM Consult Limited, also a real estate company in Nigeria, Dr. Engineer A.S Yunusa.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My fellow speakers for today's program from our humble country, Rwanda, you are highly welcome. It's a pleasure to have you on this our series, African Real Estate Leadership and Business Insights. And today the theme is building wealth through real estate industry. And I believe after this, my little keynote, we are having some panels that we also discuss some fundamentals. Good afternoon, everyone. All the viewers that are here, good afternoon to you. Permit me to kindly share my screen. Okay, building wealth through real estate. This our industry, real estate, has a lot of misconception to the extent that people that are even in the industry doesn't know that they said you don't need to be a developer, or you will be selling a land banker to put before you see yourself as a real estate stakeholder. So long as you own a property or you have something to do with development of the land, you are also part of us. And I am honored to facilitate this team today. So real estate, as we all know, is land and is development. Any improvement on it, the land that we know is real estate. Can be for business, for charity, whatever it is. That's what real estate is. Then I have this quote from a popular research. Said only those who understand market dynamics, opportunities, and risks truly build lasting wealth. So if you want to build wealth, wealth is different from riches. Wealth is a sustainable flow of resources into your portfolio. So there are a lot of misconceptions when you talk about wealth and riches. Wealth is more than riches because wealth is sustainable. Even after you, it keep on bringing some returns or keep on benefiting the people that comes after you. That is wealth. So for you to build wealth, it's not even only in real estate, in every industry that you might find yourself accidentally or non-accidentally. First of all, you need to understand the market. Because if you don't understand the market, as we all know, basic definition of market, where demand and supply meet. So if you don't understand the market, you can't generate resources from that market. So first thing for you to, if you want to build wealth in real estate, first of all, you must understand the market, not only the current market. You have to also have a long-term vision of where the market is going, because there is no need for you to be in the market today. Tomorrow the market changes and you are off the market or you are thrown out of the market. So you have to understand not only the market of today, you also have to know where the market is going. Few years ago, the type of locations that move market, the type of location that give you a huge return or a reasonable return, is not what it is now. And in few years to come, the consumer behavior will also be affected. Consumer behavior will change, and it will affect the market. So the first knowledge you need is that you must understand the market and where the market is taking everyone to. Now, what are the investment strategies, or rather put opportunities available for people to build wealth in this our industry? How can we do that? So first of all, you have to determine your investment appetite, or to suit this our discussion, I can say your wealth building appetite, in the sense that, are you planning long-term investment, or are you planning short-term investment? So you have to know. Or are you a market spectator, someone that just want to plug in something now, then tomorrow you get your return back? So you need to first of all know what you want. Then after knowing what you want, these are various ways at which you can build your wealth in this our industry. Then the first thing you can see there on your screen is you buy and hold strategy. You buy and hold it. For people that are into land banking, they tell you to buy land, hold it for like 3 to 5 years, and sell back the land, in anticipation that properties appreciate over time. In fact, it is one of the assets that you can use to hedge inflation. So you can buy, hold it without selling now, and you sell in the future. So this type of particular one is for someone that have long-term investment appetite. Long-term investment appetite in such a way that you don't want your money now. You don't want it sharp. Then the second one is that you fix and flip. Under fixing and flipping, you look for undervalued property somewhere, property that is already undervalued or may have little depreciation. You buy the property, and after buying that property, you remodel it. So you renovate, bring it to life. Some villages, the properties they have are not in current taste of the consumer's appetite. So you can buy, renovate or remodel it, then you resell for a profit. So this one is always for a short-term investment appetite, because your profit will come within shortest period of time. I call it a quick profits. But the little challenge in this method is that you need to be experienced in valuation, in the sense that as of the time you are buying the undervalued property, you will not buy it higher than its own value. Aside also having knowledge of the valuation, you also have a bit knowledge of how to fix, because we said fix and flip. It's already undervalued, you fix it into appreciable condition, then you will resell it. The other one we have there, we have commercial and residential investment. In fact, these are one of the types of real estate investment practices that we have. You can either be in residential, you can be in commercial, you can be in industrial, you can be in hospitality. So this residential and commercial investment, what it entails is that most people out there, the house you are living in is not your own. You have someone you call a landlord. So this landlord, every month or every year, depending on your geographical location, you pay certain amount of fee to that person. So the person is earning an income from you. The person is building wealth over time from you. Or there are some plazas or offices where I'm sitting down now that in your own case, it might not belong to you. You rent it out from somebody or somebody rent it to you. The person that rent it to you is making a periodic money from those renter you are paying or lease in some condition. So the person is building, accumulating wealth, accumulating his or her own money over time. Probably the person built this certain property 5 years ago, 6 years ago, but you discover that the person has been collecting this return for over years. So the return keep on coming in, and when the market condition is not favorable in such a way that inflation affects other goods or the lifestyle of the person will also increase your house rent. So you are being affected, you are complaining of inflation, but the person is enjoying dividend on top of you. Then we have a real estate development. This one is specifically for industry leaders, like most of us that are part of the panelists, and also our type of company, where in our company what we do is that we acquire land, we develop it, and we sell. So this is another easiest way you can build wealth. When you buy land, you invest in the land, produce a layout. Probably you have a 2,000 square meter land, for example. You do a layout on it, how many number of units that can enter this certain land, develop it into something that people will desire to live inside. Then you sell it to individuals. In fact, in the path to build wealth in the industry, this is one of the most profitable way, though it comes with its own high risk. High risk in the sense that the regulations is high, the capital investment is huge, but the return is also very interesting. Also, you can, the one that I did not put here is that you can also position yourself as a broker. Another way to build wealth through this industry is to come in as a middleman. A middleman in the sense that there are frontlet people out there, there are unexperienced people out there, there are newcomers into the industry. The reason for the panel on fundamental of real estate. So there are people that doesn't have this knowledge, they don't understand the market. So people that understand the market like us, so we can position ourselves, we act on behalf of you that want to enjoy the dividend of the industry, and we make some certain percentage from your transaction. So this is also another way at which you can build wealth through this industry. Then when you are trying to build wealth, when you're trying to make money, there are risks that comes with it, and you need to understand how you are going to mitigate those risks. Because as I said earlier, first of all, you have to understand. The understanding the market doesn't mean you only need to know where to buy and where to sell. So you need to understand, first of all, the risk there is that the market can be volatile. Market volatility, in the sense that you can buy at a point at which the market is booming, but when you want to sell, you find it difficult to sell. Like in our country last year in Nigeria, the inflation was going up and the purchasing power of people were coming down. So that last year was difficult for you to easily sell or properties. So these stresses start coming into play. So you need to understand this volatility in the market, like how location influence a particular property, how neighboring environment affects your market. Then when you know the market volatility, how soon, how often all these things changes, you buy your property with a long-term mindset. You don't come in with short-term line. You buy with a long-term mindset in such a way that, as we said in buy and hold, I am not buying to sell now. I'm buying for a certain period of time. In such situation, you don't speculate going inside like someone that want to play gamble. You are actually going inside with someone that know the risk, and with a strategy of, okay, irrespective of whatever is the immediate economic situation, in 2-3 years it will be over. Then you also need to understand the legal and regulatory risk that is involved. In every country, there is zoning laws, there are land title issues. So you have to understand this. What are the legal requirements of property ownership, of the investment ownership in real estate? Because when you understand it, take for instance in Nigeria, for land, for instance, the highest title document you will have is certificate of occupancy that will be issued by the government, which shows that you become the owner. And when you are buying from somebody, you need a deed of assignment and power of attorney. So you need to understand most of these things in such a way that you don't buy something. Yes, you paid for it, but it is not your own because you fail to understand the legal and regulatory risk involved. Then you also need to understand the financial risk. Don't, because you have calculated your money on paper, if I buy for, probably, let me use Nigerian time, or let me use general terms because of other country present here, I buy today $100,000. You already know that maybe probably we are selling next year, you sell for $150,000. Then because of this, you go in to borrow money. You start collecting money from people, or you will be doing syndication. You bring your money, you bring your money, you bring your money, because of just your assumption of the market. So don't over leverage or rely on other people's money in such a way that the market turn will not allow you to sustain your debt that you collected from people. Then the final ones I made mention of in the investment there, I talk about the real estate development. Then if you are taking that out, you need to understand the construction and management risks. There are so many headaches from transforming land into a property. So you need to understand that the type of professionals you need to work with, the type of contractors you need to work with, what are the project management steps, processes that you need to put in place for you to deliver the property you are building on time, for you to deliver within budget, for you to deliver with the right quality and requirement, or to meet consumer specification. And also, how can you develop in such a way that at the end of the day, you don't end up working for other people. How did you raise capital to develop? Where will your money come from? So you need to understand all these risks and see how you can mitigate them. In essence, if I will grab all this risk and mitigation, what I'm trying to tell in essence is that due diligence is very important. So you cannot just build wealth without knowing the due diligence and the processes that you need to put them in place. So for also, if you want to build wealth, if that is what is your concern in this our industry, so these are the current opportunities in the industry, the emerging ones where the industry is driving us into. We have smart housing and prop tech. Smart housing is integration of IoTs, Internet of Things, into property development, creating a seamless interaction between a consumer and his or her property. Then we have PropTech, that is technology in property ownership, where we have so many apps, applications. We have, like in my company here, we have management operating app, which is a PropTech system that reduce operational hurdles for us. Then we also have apps where you go, list your property, and customers come there to buy. So this is one of the opportunities that is coming. Then also, housing deficit presently is much, especially Africa. In Africa, we have approximately over 40 million housing deficit in Africa, and that is a very huge market. And the essence is, the problem there is not that in some places houses are not either available, but the purchasing power of people are low to the extent that they cannot afford it. So affordable housing is one of the huge markets that you can come into and take advantage of it. And the easiest way to do that is to work in partnership with the government through public-private partnership scheme. So also, short rental system is also on the high side now, especially with movement of people traveling and tourism. Everywhere in every different countries, Airbnb is not new to us. We all know, or one way or the other, have patronized Airbnb. So Airbnb is a short-term rental system in form of like hotel and motels that is booming now, in which you don't even need a very huge capital to benefit from it. In fact, you might not even build a house. You can rent somebody's property, furnish it, and start using it for Airbnb. In some cases, my advice to people is that you can actually lease people, long-term lease, like 5 years, other people's property, and take it out for Airbnb. Then a global discussion now is about protecting the environment. You can also position yourself in delivering eco-friendly housing, like green and sustainable housing there, and take advantage of it in building your own wealth. There is a huge money, especially green building. There are huge money in it presently. So that is always, so you think green, what can you do to reduce energy consumption in properties? Then in conclusion, everything we have put together, I believe at the end of this, my few minutes discussion, we discover that real estate is arguably, unarguably, nobody can argue it, it's still one of the greatest ways or tools you can use to create wealth. But it depends on your understanding of market knowledge, the market knowledge, your smart investment strategy as we listed out, how do you manage the risk that's come with it, and how long-term thinking can you be. So I will give some key takeaway from this our discussion. So you start with research and your due diligence. My advice to newbies in every industry is that you cannot survive in any industry with ignorance. So you have to do your research, proper due diligence, then make sure you connect with experienced mentors like us and my other colleagues on the screen, and network with people, share idea like as we are doing here, so that you can have more insights of what is happening, what's achievable in every environment. Then you don't be a book lover that doesn't take action. If you make all the whole research, know all the whole due diligence in the whole world, and you are not taking action, you are not better off than somebody that did not do anything. So after all these things, take action and make sure that everything work out for you. Thank you very much for listening. If anybody on this our interface, our two-way communication, have any question, you can drop it on the chat while the panel is ongoing. At the end of the panel discussion, I will come back to give response to them. Then people that are also watching us on Facebook, you can drop questions on the comment sections and treat them during the after the panel. So thank you very much for listening. I appreciate. So Alima, over to you.
All right, thank you very much.